Hey everyone, Tim here. Just doing another video regarding the job action trailer that we saw yesterday during the live letter. And we're just kind of going through and breaking down each of the roles here. So we've already done the casters and the healers. So now we're going to go ahead and do the physical range DPS role. Again, apologize in advance. This video is just going to be kind of like not edited and it's probably going to be jumbled up since it was a long night last night. So I do apologize for that. But I definitely wanted to just go ahead and talk about my initial thoughts and everything and kind of just go over what I initially felt about the jobs and what they said in that regards. So I'm just going to let the video play, and we're going to talk about the dancer first, and we'll move on down the list here. So talking about the dancer here, I think majority of Shadowbringer dancer was pretty good. And then I think when they added these, with the new abilities and everything they added, definitely things look like they're kind of keeping a lot of the same. It's just kind of just adding on top of what they've already made as a foundation. So they did mention that technical finish, devilment, and improvisation. Now, when you use them, they then grant access to another ability. So I think when they choose a technical, they do this like peacock like effect here, and then it does mostly that's saber dance into a what looks like be like flying chakram like ability. So I think the flying chakram is definitely something that happens from that peacockish like thing that happens. It does look like here when they do that was improvisation. When they did that, the Esper gauge does not change, and then it gives them like a burst heal, which if people didn't realize, because improvisation is really kind of a weird spot in Shadowbringers, improvisation actually makes the Esper gauge go up, but it also gives you a buff that increases the healing you receive. So I'm thinking that when you get this little ability that shows up right here, that looks like it's applying that, or maybe applying some kind of heal in that regard. So that's kind of cool to see. I actually think that this is pretty good. They got what looks like a couple different like dances that are embedded into the role here, which is kind of what they are. They're the big supportive the big supportive job for this particular for these particular roles here. If I get my words together. And overall, I actually really like where they did with this. They also mentioned that they made some changes to kind of like the button bloat of things, where things would be switched around in regards to how many buttons you'd have to press for both like your single target and your AoE abilities. So but yeah, overall I think the dancer did a fantastic job with this update. I have nothing to complain about. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and move on to the next one. So let's go ahead and talk about Machinist here. I think actually, is that the next one right here? Yeah, Machinist. Wow, that makes it easier for me. So Machinist is going to be the next one on the list here. And kind of like the dancer, with the big rework that Machinist got last expansion, they didn't really do too much with it. They kept a lot of it the same and just added a couple of new abilities in that regards. As you can see, we got a shotgun there. I'm not sure what that like procs off of to give them that and what the benefits of it. So they do get 2 reassembles now instead of 1. So that means huge openers for sure. That was like a Gatlin chainsaw thing that they mentioned. So I'm not sure. Again, it sounds like a lot of the job's abilities proc off of using certain other things. They also did give the bishop a new finisher. So you got pile bunker, but then you also got something new, which we'll see here in a couple seconds. So overall, I think with the role actions here, this one they played it pretty safe with the Machinist. I think they liked where it was going regarding the more robotic actions. So overall, I have nothing to complain about it. This one is just improving on what it is there. I hope in the next expansion we do get to see a little bit more, because their gameplay still is pretty simple for Machinist. But I don't really think there's really too much to add in this regard. I kind of wanted to see more robots, but you know, we'll see where they go in that in this regards. So I don't have too much more to add on that one. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next one, which is the Bard, which I do have a little bit more to talk about. The Bard is definitely one that I wanted to see a lot of changes on, and it did get some good changes, but there's some things I am concerned about. So now whenever they play their songs, they do get a little buff. As you can see on the side there, you see the 2 songs that they've already played, which they've just played. Was it? I think this is they're playing Wanderer's Minuet right now, which does the same thing as normal in the regular scheme of things. But now when they play all 3 of them, they just played Army's Paeon. They have all 3 of these buffs that can proc a new song after it's done. They did show the new AoE thing, an AoE spell there. See, they just played it, and now that does something different. We don't know what that actually does, but it does look like it's going to be actually making a new song, which will probably maybe it'll give all buffs from each one. Like, I think, was it Mage Ballad gives crit, and one gives like skill speed, spell speed reduction, and then I can't remember what the other one does. So maybe it'll give all three of those effects at the same time, and then you just repeat. That's kind of cool. The only thing that I am very concerned about is this ending right here. So after they play them all and they do their normal things, Apex Arrow still has that little gauge at the bottom there that once filled, they use, well, they didn't fill it, but they use Apex Arrow, and then it's followed up with it by another one. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. To me, that was like the biggest thing about Apex Arrow, was that it just felt super underwhelming. And that there wasn't really too much that they could really do with that ability. It just kind of felt like, you know, wait till 100, use it at max gauge, and then just call it a day. To me, that just seems kind of meh. And I really wanted them to do a little bit more with that. And then just the fact of adding another ability on top of it, to me, or just like a new finisher on top of that, just to me, it seems like they don't really know what to do with that. I do like that they do look, the bard does have like an AoE rotation, and I really love the fact that they're doing more in regards to the ballads. The ballads actually doing some more things. I would like to see some more implication on that, on the ballad system there. So more songs. I mean, I think that's the core identity of the job, at least for me. But I don't really know what else that they could really do with the bard, because it does seem like they're kind of running out of ideas. But hopefully, if they can implement the updates that they did for the actual 3 songs and then do a bigger song, maybe they could do a little bit more of that. Maybe add another 2 or 3 songs that does another big song. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it shapes up down the road. I do think maybe this is the one job that would be potentially looked into next expansion for a bigger rework. This seems like just kind of like a little, like a patch thing. Like, hey, we got an idea, we don't really know how to execute it as well, and we'll throw a couple new abilities and call it a day for now, and we'll revisit this next expansion. That's kind of what I'm getting with the bard right now, is that, you know, it does look like, kind of like with other videos, it does seem like one of each role so far is looking like we don't know what to do with it. We may need to look into it next expansion, which is, again, good and bad. So for those that are seeing this, I think this is more of a win than the other ones that I've talked about so far, regarding the type of changes that we've seen. But hopefully we'll see some more changes with the bard down the road. So that said, that's all I really need to say in regards to the physical range DPS. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, on what you feel about your job, or the physical range role in general, on how you feel the jobs are going in that direction. We still have 2 more to do. We got the tanks and the melee DPS. So that video will be coming out shortly as well. So if you want to catch that, you know, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out that video. You can check out the other 2 videos with the caster and the healer that I've already done. And if you like this video, please leave a like. You know, let me know what you all think. And until then, I'll see everybody in the next video. With that, take care.